Alright, ladies and gentlemen, how the fuck is it going? I am doing awesome. Pretty much, more or less. Everything's going great. After everything was paid there, we didn't have much in our account just recently, just like today. So, woke up, broke, and did a candle, and asked my mom to transfer me some money to, because it was minus 22, actually, it was more than broke. It was minus $22 in my account when I first woke up this morning. Car payment went through, and there was another couple payments that we had no idea, or my wife loses track. My wife takes care of it all. So she loses track a lot. She doesn't write down. She's great at finance when she remembers shit, and when she forgets things are coming out, she fucks up like that a lot. She needs to write the shit down, or at least have her memories in her phone set up for every month. But anyways, so we forgot that internet, and the internet's like a small enough charge. Actually, it's like $70. Well, so when that and the car payment went through, we still had enough in there. We had more than enough, but then there was $22 minus the money had to be in there for 11. So I called my mom and asked her if I could borrow that. She deposited money for us to cover that cost. Now, her mom owed her some money and said, hey, I'll deposit that money. And she had no idea. And that was enough to cover that as well. And that happened at the same time as my mom deposited my money. So I didn't even deposit the money until just now via a transfer. And then my wife, and I was right, I wrote on a candle, like all before this there, that I'm just transformation sigil, all the harmful energy I sent out recently, and anything coming from anybody else, whether it's, YouTube people judging me, to people on the street, to maybe even that dude, and anybody else, maybe my family just praying for me. Anything that's coming towards me to try to affect me, I transform that into financial currency. I take all harmful and all energies coming towards me, and I transform it into, and I didn't even do the ritual yet. I didn't do anything yet. And then she gets a thing from Amazon for like $50, a refund that she wasn't expecting, because the refund she was expecting was $32, and she gets a $50 one, and $32 was still on the way. And there was something else. Oh yeah, something we had posted to sell. We put an air conditioner up today that we no longer needed to sell. That went for $80 phone, just like that. And there was something else she was selling for a long time. She just got a call on it. Fucking another $100. Boom, gone. You know what I mean? Like, so in total, I think we're like at 80, 130, and I gotta pay my mom's money back because that's the only one. So I gotta pay that 70 back. So if we don't count the 70, it's like 230 or something like that. And if you count the 70, it's like 300 I got, just like that. And candle's still burning on my altar right now. So anybody out there that doubts this whole transformation thing, don't doubt again. I put on a black candle. Saturn is one of the sigils on there. It's Saturn on the left side of the candle. So Saturn, and then you got your triangle. And then you got Pluto in the middle. And then you got Mars over here. And you got Moon over here. So out of all the planets, okay, Mercury would be the only one that is relatively, when you think about Loki, you think about the trickster. He's not really maleficent, but whenever he goes retrograde, you get the opposite polarity now. And, you can use that to your advantage when most people just think communications break down, the phone will break, shit like that. But the moon can be used for good or bad because her waning cycle is a little more intense, and it's going to make you do a purge. And if you're not doing a purge, if you're not actively trying to banish poverty, or trying to banish your addictions, or trying to banish lose some weight that maybe you should lose, or you're not trying to get rid of something, your laziness, your procrastination, you're not trying to actively banish something during the waning phase, which we're about to enter, okay, because the full moon is Monday at 11. I didn't check the time zone. I know this is just a fast search. Now my phone's in the time zone for this Eastern, for Canada, Eastern time, but I don't know. I could be wrong. But what I want to say is, always expect moon energies on full moon to happen before, and do your shit before. Have your candle lit so that when it hits the actual full moon time, it's going to be lit anyways. It's still lit during that time. But you want to do everything before, because as soon as you hit that full moon time, it automatically starts the waning process. As soon as that second goes over that, say it's 11:38 and 30 seconds. As soon as it hits 31 seconds, you're fucking into the waning. So you only want to be asking for stuff when you're waning, because then it's going to be like, well, wrong energy. You still might get it. If you think it's going to work, then it's going to work, right? You don't hear my message. But I always do it the day before. And funnily enough, Thunder Wizard, in one of his other videos, he said this exact same thing. Always go the day before. You feel the energies the day before and all that. And it's like, man, I don't know why I hate on this guy so much sometimes, or I try to, because There's so many things I agree with. You know, I don't get it. So I'm gonna lay off. I fucking resubscribed and all that. I'm just having a bitchy time. Maybe it's because I knew something was going on with my wife and I just couldn't pinpoint it. Like I knew. I grabbed that fucking cell phone that day to fucking look, and I had no idea. I had no reason why, you know? So, the intuition knows. You just gotta follow through on it. And if you think you should do something and you choose not to do it, well, then you only got yourself to blame whenever you find out a day or two later. But, the transformation sigil works. And I don't want to say, see, I can prove karma is not real, because all you have to go by is my word on this, and any fucking Joe Schmo can come on here and say, yeah, so use transformation sigil and I got money. I mean, yeah, okay, here's the proof. I went from -20, and I wish I would have took a screenshot of it or something to show you, but, you know, this is what I pulled out. I tried to pull out 100. It's fucked up too, though, because all the TD banks, that's who I'm with, are all unavailable right now. I only have 2 locations. I got a small town. Which all those machines, they're all unavailable. Fucked up as that is. So I pulled it out just in case there. So far I pulled out 80. And I'm going to keep... Everything else is already cashed. Like the 80 that came to us. No, not the 30 or 50 from Amazon. And whatever my mom put in there. But they already been cut. Anyways, I'm talking about this just because it works. Now, Verge might have a specific way to activate that sigil. But it's a sigil. So if you know how to activate any sigil, then you activate that sigil that way. All I'm trying to say is I do it so often. I've used that sigil so often. I've programmed in my mind how I activate that sigil. And I don't let any outside influences dictate and tell me that it can't work, so that my way works, that it works. Now, if I tell you how I do it, it may or may not work for you. What you need to understand is whatever you put in your mind, that will work. This is what I was talking about last time. The law of magic. It's not really that. It's not what it's called. Just what I'm saying. And if you want to know where to find the laws of magic, this is where half working comes in. Doing the Sephiroths, Tree of Life. Probably the Dark Tree as well, but definitely the Tree of Life. Because when you know how to go from one Sephiroth to the next, how it all trickles down to mouth food, well, these are the laws of magic. That's why I played that thing by Fredo Xavier explaining Hest, Devorah, and Parith a little bit, because this explains how to bring stuff into manifestation. He explains very clearly that whenever you're doing a ritual, how desire and faith, being Mars and Jupiter, and I said it's a way of understanding the planetary energies within us and how things have to come into existence. So that's why I say the Kabbalion will also tell you the same thing using 7. Why is it 7? Well, 7 planetary energies. Now, the Tree of Life is just a little more extensive, and there's more steps to take place, but things are doubled up and other shit as well, so. Alright, so, the one thing my wife was trying to sell for a while, and that fell through so far anyways, but the whole air conditioner thing for $80, I said we should do that a while ago. When we have air conditioning, we had air conditioning in the windows of each of our house, right? Guy at work told me about something for homeowners to get, see if you qualify for a discount on them. I did magic for that way back. So we got an heating and cooling air conditioning on the central L thing, 2 units, 1 downstairs, 1 upstairs. Basement's always cold anyways. Put in our house for free. So we didn't need this air conditioner. Mom gave it to us for free. It's a fucking beautiful one. It took a long time to fucking get rid of it. She didn't want to get rid of it. Whatever. Today she woke up wanting to get rid of it. It wasn't until after the candle too that she wanted to. So that $80 for that's pretty fucking magical too, because my wife, she likes selling things that, you know, like the kids that grow out of toys and all that. But when it comes to TVs, air conditioners, anything, I guess like that, like appliances that may be useful in the future, but we're not using right now, she hates getting rid of. My philosophy is, the more crap you got, well, less crap that can come in. That being said, I keep a lot of crap too, though. I have my own places where I keep crap, other places where I'm okay with letting it go. So, far from perfect. I'm not trying to say I'm perfect, that I'm better. All I'm saying is, it's pretty magical. She just wanted, fuck, we don't need it. All right, perfect. How did you change that mindset? Well, magic again. My bad. Point is, it works, man. I'll play Birch's video after this for you. So it's a transforming poverty video. But he says often in his beginnings to watch a residual video, transforming poverty video, and another video. You put all those together, you got something really you can work with. He gives a lot of great free information out in his early videos. You might not like quality, you might not think there's anything worth there, but you can listen to the most stupidest motherfucker rant on YouTube. It's not even a cult and get some bullshit out of it. I'm telling you, I could do that if I wanted to. But I'll put that on there for you after you see it, so you know what I'm talking about. And this is just, yet again, more proof of why karma is not what goes around comes around. And what goes around and comes around implies that if you are going around being a dick to everybody, well then, what's going to happen to you? You're going to be a dick to you. And yeah, that's true, because if you're going around being a dick to everybody, you're putting off that dick energy, then they're going to, depending on the person, right? If the person is a fucking Aries, who's hard-headed and stubborn, you're being a dick to them, well, they're going to naturally probably just be a cocky prick. It's going to put you in your place, most likely, which we need more of in this world, I think. If people start being a prick to everybody, well then, yeah, eventually people are going to be sarcastic and be a prick to them. They're a Pisces, or got Pisces energy, like they got Jupiter in Pisces like I do, and they're going to take on that energy, and then they're going to have no choice but to fucking put it out there. Unless they took on a new age philosophy of, no, don't put out that energy, only put out good energy. Well, what do you think happens whenever you take in bad energy and you don't let it come back out? It's staying inside you. What did Frater say in that last video? If you either make a sigil and put it in your brain, or you look at a McDonald's symbol, which is a sigil to get you hungry, if you don't let that out, it's going to first manifest as an internal something, and if it can't get through to you that way, then it processes in your external. As within, so without. Therefore, if you take in energy from somebody, and what I mean by taking it in, Pisces, someone says you're a fucking piece of shit, low life, fucking retard. Other people will look at that guy, especially like in Aries, you know. In Vedic astrology, my ascendant is Aries, but in the sidereal Vedic, Aries. I got the second house is where Taurus actually is. I'm like right on board with all the signs in Vedic and sidereal, which is actually where the constellations are in real time in the sky right now. Versus the other way, you look up in the sky and it tells you where the moon is, and it's not in that sign. It's a sign off, a couple off, because of the precession of the equinox, blah, 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 blah. Point is, somebody says that to me, and I'm a little bit of both, and that's why, you know, because I got Jupiter and Pisces in both, in my tropical or my Vedic. It's still the same place. There's only, I think there's about 5 or 6 signs that stay the same. So it's like half and half. Well, it depends on what they're talking about, but someone says that to somebody who's hard-headed fucking ram, then they're going to be like, you know, go fuck yourself. Your opinion doesn't mean shit. Okay? So that just bounces off them. They don't take that charge. Pisces might be like, oh, fuck, I am a retarded piece of shit. Taking that garbage. They go home, they watch some videos saying, hey, if you feel negative, don't feel negative. Only put out positivity. Well, once again, if your heart's desire doesn't match what you're putting out, you got a conflict there. That's the opposites that attract. You're attracted to that energy. You feel like shit inside. You're trying to put off something else on the outside. You're not going to get your shit to happen. So what do you got to do? You got to let go of that charge. If you can forgive the person, like I have been able to do in the past, there are some times where it's like, buddy fucked me over at work, right? I blamed him for the longest time. I realized it wasn't completely his fault. I was blaming him. I was putting out this negative charge. I was holding all shit in. I let it go. I fucking forgave the motherfucker. I said I wished him fucking prosperity, wealth, time off, whatever he wants. Guy hasn't been to work since we've been fucking this. Since this whole thing happened, he hasn't really been working. Maybe off and on a month. And he's still technically employed there. So he's living a good life right now. And I think I had something to do with that because I wished him all of that. And I don't care as long as I get my good life in return. If we're both getting what we want and we're both fucking happy now, there's no reason holding the beef. But this motherfucker tried to hit on my wife, get in her fucking pants, and didn't even want a relationship with her, just wanted to get in her pants, but was telling her she wanted a relationship with her, telling her to break up with me just to fuck him, because she said she wouldn't do anything with him if she's with me. It's too complicated, she gotta work this out. But you're a nice guy or whatever, you're saying nice things, right things, I can't really take you at your word, but if this shit's over between my husband, then we can talk. And he's, well, just end up with your husband so you can find out, you know, so we can fuck, blah, 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 blah. And he was just running game. He doesn't give two fucks about her. Guy living in his fucking parents' basement with one kid out of 4. Real fucking winner. But the point is, I'm not going to wish him prosperity just off the hop and forgive him. I can't. There's something telling me, and I did divination to know, like, fuck, man, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right to hex or curse this motherfucker. It doesn't feel right to do that. What should I do? Card said the same thing. Next day. Card said the same thing. Next day. Card said the same thing. Holy fuck, man. Okay, what do I do? Look at videos, look at all, ask, meditate on it. All these things kept telling me, you gotta do something. But you also gotta think about it. I watched the Birch video saying, the one I play on here, revenge is a dish best served cold. He says that's not only a play on, I forget what the first thing he said, a play on something. Anyways, it also means let some time pass so you're not so fucking hot, so the person doesn't even remember it. So I took that information and I'm like, you know what? He's right. The energy I sent at him in the beginning when I was fucking freaking out and I wanted to kill him, I couldn't help that. That's sent out. But after a few days, I was able to come up with a thought form instead of just cursing or hexing. Because if you curse or hex somebody, you gotta be okay with that motherfucker dying. And I wasn't okay with that motherfucker dying. Yet, I still cursed him. I still fucking... And this, when I say curse, once again, it's an accident. It was me having thoughts of killing him, putting emotion into that, putting the action out and going to find his fucking house, which I know where he lives. I mean, not pinpoint the exact house, but I got it within fucking a 5-house area, okay? But he lives with his parents, they're in their elders, and he's got a kid there. So am I gonna go knock on the door and punch him out? No. Am I gonna drive by his house and hope catching him walking away from the house one day without his kids or his parents? Yes. And then I'll do something. But I'm not that much of a douche to go beat this guy up in front of his kid or his parents, you know? They didn't probably raise him to do that shit. His parents are still together. So he's doing this on his old accord, and I don't want any of them to suffer. Hence why the platform was to protect. Now, I didn't know the mom was there as well. I only knew the dad, but I found out through various means that they're together and mom's there too. Because at first I thought, oh, dad's single. Maybe that's a piece of shit. So maybe he needs some fucking karma too. Maybe I'll go Old Testament on him. And like God said, when Cain killed his brother, God said, if anybody kills fucking Cain, I'm planning taking vengeance on their family sevenfold. Hence, the Avenged Sevenfold fucking name. That's what that's for. Buddy's a fucking born-again Christian. No wonder he took his shit from the Old Testament. But God said, if the first family line, first generation, which means the same people around Cain's time, take it on Cain, I'm killing 7 of your family members if you fucking kill Cain. And then the next generation, if someone fucks with Cain's kids, offspring, this is how it can be taken, or it could just be like the next generation, let's take it on old name, Cain or both, then I'm killing 70 of your fucking family members. Then 700, which is this whole decimal point thing I talked about with Raider, or maybe I didn't talk about it, maybe I should shut up. But point is, God was going to take a vengeance out sevenfold. And whose number in astrology is 7? Well, it's fucking Saturn. Who do the Jews worship, and what book of the Bible do the Jews worship? Well, it's the Old Testament, and they put the black cube because the cube is the hex, and the hexagram is the fucking same thing, and Saturn has a hexagram on. So this is how you would use the Bible in your benefit using Saturn. So Saturn's a nice fucking dude if you go along with him. But if you fuck over Saturn, Saturn's going to take revenge on you 7 times. Until you learn your lesson. So what am I doing? I'm wearing all black, like my man Saturn today. I got even the bandana's black. It's not played out, but and I got a little bit of white. Because guess what? Today, I'm more dark with just a little bit of light. But that's not all the time. And sometimes you just got to express that. You express it in a healthy way on Saturn Day, then you're okay. But if you let that shit stay inside of you, and you're projecting other things, your magic ain't gonna work. You gotta get rid of these internal blocks, because if they're emotional blocks, you're gonna fuck up your life, you're gonna stink up your life, you're gonna fuck up your relationships. But that's a best case scenario. A worst case scenario is that energy gets trapped inside of you, and then you might develop a chronic illness or some chronic pain, or maybe even a disease or a disorder. Don't let that shit stay in you. Get it out in a healthy way. If you are still able to think about it and you're just putting it off, that means you're in a pretty good state. Go into a fucking room, punch a pillow, put a face on it, do whatever you gotta do. If you're magic and you know shit about magic, protect the person if you don't want to harm them. you gotta take it out. You gotta somehow symbolize something and take it out on it. And there's nothing saying that's bad. If you want to entertain the thought that having bad thoughts is bad, then why did the God, the creator, allow you to get bad thoughts in the first fucking place? Oh, it's so you can free willingly choose to not have those thoughts. No one chooses to not have fucking thoughts. Thoughts are shot in your head, and then you got to choose if you accept or deny them. But odds are you've already accepted them. So if you're not controlling that at that level, like I said, accepting or denying thoughts, you can accept a thought as if it's buying a pair of shoes online, or denying a thought like, no, I don't like those shoes. You can do that with thoughts, and that's okay. If you deny a thought, then you didn't take it in. It's as simple as that. Keep having that thought over and over again. Don't ever acquiesce. Don't ever just go along with it. Like, oh, I'm never gonna fucking be able to trust my wife again. No, I banish that thought and accept that my wife is being honest, and she would never do anything to me, and she hasn't done anything to me. Watch the don'ts and shit like that. You know that rule, hopefully by now. But you know what I mean? You banish those fucking thoughts. But if you've accepted thoughts in the past and you've got something brewing in you, some anger, you gotta let it out. You gotta relieve it, you gotta release it, you gotta remove it. It's the only healthy way to deal with it. And if you're harboring something against somebody, if you live with that somebody, talk to them. And you're gonna see, you start talking, you're gonna get louder, it's gonna come out. But then you'll feel like $1,000,000. You can apologize after for dumping on them. It wasn't your intention. You've been holding that in for a while, and that you know they probably have the same feeling towards you. So now it's your turn, because I think it'd be helpful to hear your point of view instead of me just thinking I'm always a fucking righteous right asshole. Let it out. Deal with these emotions. Don't hold it in, because guess what? If that's your true heart desire, and then you actually say it, and you come to the point where it's just too much, and you let it all out, verbal diarrhea, yeah, you're some new age fucker that doesn't believe in violence and cursing people. Well, guess what? If you just put emotion and action into it, you just cursed a motherfucker. Yet you think I'm an asshole for telling people about it, and potentially, I'm not really teaching, but I am kind of teaching through my examples, but whatever. Now you know what not to do. But if you're going to say, no, that's not true, and keep doing it, well, who's the fucking idiot now? It's you. So go fuck yourself if you're judging me. I don't judge anybody. But I'm telling you right now, this guy, I was not able to just give him, because what happens? I give him, wish him abundance, wealth, and so he doesn't have to work again. So now he's got more time to go around taking people's wives. And what if it was your wife or your fucking husband that, obviously he's not gay, but my point is, if you don't fuck over that, if you're a girl watching me, if you don't fuck over that bitch who tried to take your man, well, she might take your friend's man, she might try to take your man again, she might keep doing it. And why should she be able to? And what if you and your man are having a good time? He had a drink one night, she touched his cock, he couldn't even help it or something, he didn't want to, or whatever the case is. It was just pure fucking circumstance. You can say, well, then he wasn't my man in the first place. But no, she could be an evil bitch using some kind of glamour spell on him. That can't be right. She's not allowing him to use his fucking free will. There are spells, and I can't tell you if they'll work or not because I've never done them. But I have a feeling they will work. And if someone fucks over someone else's fucking free will, that's why I don't like doing magic on my wife and my kids, because I don't think it's right to impose my fucking will on anybody. And that's why nobody out there, no fucking buddy, should pray for anybody else. I pray that this person does this because I think it's right. Well, doesn't matter what you think's right. You might think my dog needs to have extra food, but you give my dog extra food that's not within his diet, it's going to throw up everywhere. You fucked up my fucking dog by doing that because you thought it was right. Oh, guess it's not right. And maybe some places down the line it was right. But my dog got used to a fucking specific schedule and a way of eating. If you fuck that up, you're fucking up my dog. You're doing more harm than good. But your intentions were good. I don't give a fuck about your intentions. Your way isn't the only fucking way. And get that out of your head. If you're some righteous person thinking you should pray and help everybody change, no. Change your fucking self. And then you'll change everybody else. That's how it works. But everybody that wants to change everybody else because they're fucking perfect is a fucking loser, a fucked up motherfucker who doesn't know anything. Enlightenment comes from going through dark times. You come out of the dark times a better person. If you go through all good shit, how the fuck are you going to be a good person? It's easy to be nice to people when things are going right. It's easy to give money when you have money. It's harder to have 20 bucks and give 15 of it away and fucking make it on 5 to your next payday. Have you ever done that? No. Then fuck off. But I have. I've given the whole fucking 20 when that was the only money I had. And I got 100 in return. But if you had a 20 left and say, well, I'll give it when I get more money, and then you have another excuse then, or maybe you do. Maybe you give somebody 20 bucks when you got $2,000. Well, that's 1%. That's pretty fucking low. That's pretty fucking low. I tip more than that shit. So fuck off. But the point is, I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just coming out that way. I think Saturn's talking to me. But the point is, you can't just keep suppressing dark knowledge, dark things, cursing and hexing. You need to understand how this shit works. If you've ever opened an occult book, it'll tell you all the bad shit that's happening to you is probably 90% self-imposed. Well, 75%. But it's also self-imposed because you've been programmed by your parents. So unless you want to blame your parents for all your bullshit, no. Now that you know what happened, you remove the programming, you stop saying this shit, you work on something from 6 to 12 months of depolarization and not saying these things. And every time you do, you banish what you just said so that you cancel it out. And then you can start going forward without having any karmic backlash, which means the circuit. You didn't put anything out there to come back to you. You're not holding anything inside that's going to manifest outside of you. It's as simple as that. That's the only karma there is. Now you can say, well, what about your birth chart? What about your birth chart and where your fucking Rahu and Ketu in the north nodes of the moon? Well, that is saying in your past life, you did some shit that you didn't deal with then, so you might have to deal with that in this life. Depending on your age, you probably already dealt with it. It might even have made your circumstances in the beginning. So, yeah, that's karma, but it's the same concept. You put out bad and you died before you got the bad back. That's as simple as it is. And maybe you knew the stuff you knew now and you didn't do it right. I can't tell you. I can't speculate on that. I know there's some truth to that. I know you should look at that in your chart because that'll show you what you need to do. But basically, in my experience, where that is in your chart, it's already happening to you. Once again, Saturn and Libra, the marriage house. What just happened to my marriage? How close did I come to divorce and separation just now? I'm having my trials and tribulations in there, and I'm not even trying. Therefore, it's happening to me. So maybe I did this to my wife in my last past life. I don't know. Or is it simply the shit I said before I got into the occult and still coming back to me? I don't know. But I know that's how it works in some way, shape, or form. And that's the best I can tell you. And if you don't believe it, then don't. You don't have to. Find your own way. Find your own path. But I'm telling you, it's some kind of variation of this. It's got to be. It's the only thing that makes sense. To have some God up there who has some right and wrong, yet all people have different circumstances, to be able to say, well, it doesn't matter. Just because you were born with money and you've never stole before, and you were born with nothing and you stole to feed your children, well, you're going to hell, motherfucker. Doesn't matter. Your kid should have starved. He could have gave you money, but no, he didn't, and he's still going to heaven. Like, fuck off. That makes a whole lot of sense. People are born with disease and no limbs, and that's just God saying, yeah, motherfucker, I hate this little fucking shit kid. Fuck you, no arms, no fucking feet, no fucking nothing, no good mom. Your dad's gonna beat the shit out of you. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. But he fucking loves us with his whole heart. Go fuck yourselves, you fucking dumb pieces of shit. And if you believe that, you're fucked. That's the kind of shit like I'm talking about. Your past life, you did something terrible. You cut a motherfucker's arm off. Well, you come back with no fucking arm. Debt paid. Now move on and go forth. Simple as that. It comes down to that. And if it's not as simple as that, like you cut off some arms so you get no arm, well, then if you fucked over 10 wives, well, then you're going to be married 10 times, or you're going to be married once and she's going to fuck you over 10 times. You're going to take her back and no one's going to understand it, but you're going to be like, I just love her. I got to stay with her. And it's because you got to pay off your debt. And after that 10th time, you're finally going to see what everybody fucking saw. Anyway, oh shit. So simple now. And you know what? I don't regret any of it because it led me to where I am. That's what you're going to say. That's what everybody says. I said that to my wife yesterday. I don't regret a damn thing. I fucked up a lot and did a lot of bad shit in fucking high school and fucked and hurt people and did a lot of bad things. And as much as I feel bad for some of the people I put in the hospital and stealing from family at sometimes and shit like that, it's like, Every bad, stupid mistake led me to where I am today, and I'm so grateful for where I am today that I'm happy for all that shit. I'm blessed. I feel great. Maybe that's why I got the extra money today, because I'm happy for my bad times. My wife was worried yesterday because of the money situation. She was pretty sure we're going to be broke this weekend and couldn't do nothing. I'm like, yeah, babe, but guess what? At any moment, something can happen. God forbid, something to somebody, like a child, and it would make these money problems look like a fucking great time in our life, and we'd give anything to come back to just having money problems. So let's just be grateful that our biggest problem is a couple times a month, once a month maybe, we have no money for a few days, and that's as worse as it gets, because it can get a lot fucking worse a lot fast. So if we're grateful for our shit times, you're not going to manifest more shit times. The way you manifest more shit times is whenever you fucking focus on shit times and put shitty emotion into shit times. But if you're grateful for being lucky enough to only have money problems a couple times a month, then you might not even get that, because you're moving that polarity line. If you decide that having no money a couple times a month is the worst thing ever, and it's just as bad as someone cheating on you or someone killing your kid, and you treat it like that, guess what happens, man? Guess what happens? I'm not even going to say it. But if you're grateful that that's the worst it got, well, then you're changing that bad situation, being your worst polarity, to your best polarity. And then where's your worst polarity line? Point is, you just moved that fucking pendulum. Because it was, okay, good's over here, okay, bad's over here. Okay, well, we're back to the fucking good. Well, let's go back to the opposite polarity then. Okay, what's the opposite polarity? Well, it's a lot of money, isn't it not? Because this is a bad time. Oh, wait, I wanted that shit. Oh, that's a good polarity again? Okay, let's go back to the bad polarity where the shit is, the worst money ever. Something to that effect. You got to figure that out for yourself. But you're manipulating how the pendulum swings. You're manipulating the polarity in your life a little bit. And it's the only way to be. Because if every time your subconscious is trying to get you back and forth, okay? It's the only thing that makes sense. You're depolarized, so nothing bugs you. But it's trying to find, well, how do we fucking get this guy polarized? Or maybe it's the media trying to get you polarized. I don't know. But, well, that's definitely the case. You should watch Frederick Xavier's newest fucking video. Bomb, explaining fucking the media manipulation. He actually says the media is Senator Palpatine controlling it all, and it's something thereabouts, I think. But yeah, it's fucking awesome. But point is, there's so many points, it's unbelievable. But when you're moving that internal polarity mark and where the pendulum, because the pendulum keeps swinging. The only constant is change. I've said this many times, and everybody has a waxing and waning cycle within their life, which means you're going to have good times, you're going to have bad times, you're going to have good times, you're going to have bad times. And that can be in any situation, any specific area in your life. And it all goes by what you're focused on. Remember that. So if you're focused on money, well, if you're always thinking about money and always trying to manifest money, well, then that's the pendulum swing you're going to notice. Bad, no money, good money. Bad, no money, good money. But you set it and forget it, that you never have to worry about money, and guess what? Your pendulum swings somewhere else. So once you know this, if you want to use another Hermetic principle called cause and effect, well, then you start causing a situation that you want the pendulum swing to happen in. Think a part of your life where going back and forth wouldn't be so bad. Is there something in your life that you can think about where going back and forth wouldn't be so bad? Because I can think of a couple where things, if it goes back and forth, it wouldn't be the end of the world. And then if you're at the cause and the effect is something that you want, well, you're basically controlling your cause and effect. You're controlling your pendulum swing. You're controlling your polarity. And, correspondences, all this mental law, gender, they're all gonna fucking follow. And you're a fucking magician with the infinity symbol over your head. Because shit just keeps happening. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's probably where the halo came from. They just fucking take the other part of the 8 off. You ever think that's kind of weird? How the circle is a sign for Saturn, okay? Circle is also the sign for the sun, but with a dot in it. Put those two fuckers together, you get Mercury, which is 8, which symbolizes 8, right? The caduceus, the 2 snakes. And then that's over the guy's head. The magician card is Mercury, but yeah, he's got 8 over his head. Well, it's a halo. It's one of those. No, it's the one good half, maybe. Who knows? But it's yellow, but it's the symbol for Saturn. It's like the sun and Saturn together. You got both those polarities. To me, it tells me that you got Mercury, because the sun is the positive half of that air sign, Saturn is the negative half of that air sign. You put them together, you got yin and fucking yang, baby. Mercury, it completes them. What's the Mercury symbol? Got that fucking half moon on top of the head, and the moon there, right, the fucking plus. So you got man, female. You got sun. Sorry about that. My wife cut me off. She's like, "Where the fuck are you?" No, she didn't say that. But she's done working 8 minutes, and she wants to do running around. And I'm at my clinic just fucking talking shit. But I'm telling you, if you add the sun and Saturn, anyways, well, all I'm trying to get at is, it's quite convenient about that whole 8, but that's why it's the magician sign, because you have to be depolarized. You have to be able to use all polarities equally within you. And if you don't want to be a magician or a witch, then that's fine, don't. But any person who wants to be a well-balanced anything needs to understand this concept. But anyways, so I wanted this to be part 2 about why karma's horseshit, why the law of magic is a real thing, and you can still believe in karma. Just, you need to redefine it, and you need to get that idea in your head. Okay, so this goes for all words, all etymology. This is why the study of etymology is so important, because words have meanings behind it. In that video by Frederick Xavier, the one I put on here last, he says the all-seeing eye symbol is, he says it's a symbol. What it symbolizes is that what you focus on manifest, right? But, and I think that's true, but what if, okay, for the Illuminati, I don't think the Illuminati, I think Illuminati are the good guys, by the way, but anyways, and if the Illuminati are the good guys to me, well, anytime they do something bad, it's not going to be bad, and it's not going to happen to me, so therefore, I'm inoculated against them. So adapt that kind of point of view. Holy fuck, that's bright. Adopt that kind of point of view about it, even if you don't believe it. Just start trying it. I'm one of the Illuminati. Therefore, anything that happens bad ain't going to happen to me. If you really think that thought through, okay? COVID-19. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's fake. I've always had that point of view. However, I take the belief, I take the stance of, well, if it's real, I found out how to protect against it. How to protect against it? Well, I make sure I know how to not make my body go into fight, flight, or fight. I found out all the ways how not to do that. The best way to control it is through breath. So whenever you are in the parasympathetic nervous system, when you're breathing deeply, it automatically puts you into digestive, relaxing, takes you out of flight or flight, and you're able to sleep, you're able to relax. That's what you use for magic, trance, and all that shit. But when you're in the sympathetic nervous system, it's fight or flight. It's not only used for that, that's what you would use when you're working out, because the body focuses on taking a lot of oxygen in, so that when you're done and you bring your heart rate down, you push oxygen out. So you got to start thinking of it that way. Sympathetic is focused on bringing oxygen in. Parasympathetic focuses on getting carbon dioxide out. In this day and age where everybody's wearing masks and upping their levels of carbon dioxide in their blood, this is the most important fucking thing to know. You need to teach your kids this if they're going to go to school and wear a fucking mask. Otherwise, your kid is going to start getting sick with everything, and they're not going to feel good all the time, and their bodies are still growing. You want growing little organs and growing little bodies to be full of sickness so they don't fucking grow properly and their cells aren't growing properly? Not me. I put a little bit of salt in all the fucking juice to make it alkaline so that they have the best cells possible. I make them go outside and eat dirt so they get as much germs in their system, so they're inoculated against everything. I play shit in the background so that they don't get programming. I play 432 hertz around the house to harmonize the water in their body. I do as much as I can to protect my children. I do more than I think any fucking parent that I fucking know. If ever want to call me a bad parent, come fucking say it to my face, because I'll knock you the fuck out. But anyways, point is, you think about those two nervous systems in that sense, because you got to take oxygen in to get rid of carbon dioxide. This is also how you lose weight. You burn 80% of your weight burns up into carbon dioxide, and only 15 to 20% of it burns up in water. Why you start getting rid of water when you first start working out a lot, you get rid of weight fast, but the rest of it has to be done through breath work. Okay, simple as that. But that's what I did to learn about COVID. I figured out the way to protect myself was to never go into fight or flight, to never put emotion into the thoughts I'm having about COVID. So by not believing in COVID, it's the best thing I can fucking do. By having complete faith that even if COVID's real, I can't get touched, is the best thing I can do. And guess what? My town hasn't had any deaths. Has had like fucking I don't know, but we've had enough cases to our we don't even have that many cases to our ratio of people here. So you can say, well, you're just lucky. Well, I don't think so, because people that focus on it, they get it, they get sick, people around them get sick, they're in fear all the time. It's going to happen to them and people around them. They're affecting people around them. What happens inside happens outside of you. So if you're worrying about shit, you're putting that out there. And I'm not going to tell you it's real, it's not real. I have no fucking idea. But all I know is, if it's not real, I got nothing to worry about. If it's real, I got nothing to worry about. Therefore, I'm spreading that in my town. I'm protecting my community by doing this service, by knowing what I need to know. I told my family all of this information, using the science part of it, telling them the science about it. When your body goes into fight or flight, you release cortisol throughout your body. That is a stress hormone that tells all the little fucking sensors, neurons, whatever you want to call them in your body, these little receptors that your brain, how it talks to the rest of the body, okay, using the fucking nerves and all that. Well, all those go throughout your entire body and tell your body that we have cortisol, everybody. This is code red. We need to go in flight or fight right away. What happens with fight or flight? Well, the cortisol, which is what told everything, makes the sensors tell, your body tells the blood system, your circulation system, to put all the blood in the feet and the hands. Fuck the digestive. Fuck everything else. If you're trying to cure a disease, you're almost there. Fuck doing that. Stop everything. Feet or hands. Because if we're about to die, well, there's no point in fucking trying to cure a disease or digesting our food. We need to run out of here and fucking use our hands to fight if they fucking catch us. Okay? And this can be proven very easily by looking up how, whenever doctors do a surgery, they use cortisol to stop the person's immune system. And by the reason they do this, whenever they're putting foreign tissue or something foreign in the body, is because that person's body didn't produce that. The cells didn't produce that. It's not a match. You can think of it energetically, physically, all that shit. Magnetically, it all makes sense. It's not the same cells. Okay? Can't put two different blood types in. You can put the same blood type in, but you can't put different organs in from different people unless you shut down the immune system. So doctors add cortisol to their patients when they are doing any kind of like skin graft shits. When you're adding fucking, anyways, any transplant. Look it up. If you don't believe me, I don't fucking care. And you'll learn all about cortisol, fight or flight, immune system. So when you're in fear, whether it's watching media or think your kid's fucking dying, whatever, you are now in fight or flight. You are in the sympathetic nervous system through your breathing. You're breathing fast. You're not focused on getting rid of you're not focused on getting rid of carbon dioxide. You're focused on taking as much oxygen by always breathing. Okay? So the best thing you can do is to shut down that system. So I learned many ways how to not do that. First of all, depolarization will keep you there. Banishing fucking thoughts will do that for you. But if you simply don't want that and you want scientific ways, the breathing. You focus on breathing. You breathe. Do the fourfold breath to start, and then from there, hold your breath. Really try to get your exhale and no breath as long as you can. And those are the two hardest things to do, but the hardest things give you the best rewards. That's how you get out of fight or flight. So that's what I do. I told my family all that shit, and they understand now. They know now. I even got them, if they have to wear a mask, poking little fucking holes near the fucking nose, because the saliva's not gonna come out your nose, so you can breathe better. You need to fucking breathe better. I wear a fucking bandana, this motherfucker, because the bottom's open here, so I got better chance of breath coming out. And everywhere I see says, what is that used for a face mask? Bandana, scarf, medical, or non-medical mask. That's the fucking rule. And this bitch is consecrated as well, which means the atoms, the cells, everything. Grade 9 science, everybody. If you think magic is bullshit, let's talk about grade 9 science, where you learned that everything is made up from atoms. And every atom is moving. Atom is the smallest level, but they're all moving. They all have a charge, either positive or negative. And then you got neutrons, electrons, protons. Okay? But they're all moving, and that's all within an atom. Within one atom, there's proton, there's neutron, there's electron. Okay? All within an atom. All that shit's moving. Electrons going around it. Proton and neutron are normally closer together in the nucleus, whatever. Electron going around it. Okay? That's everything. It's always moving. Okay? Always moving. Which one is moving the electron? The negative polarity. How do you get people to move the most? Negative polarity. What do the media focus on more than anything? Negative polarity. How do you get people divided instead of together? Negative polarity. A bunch of people that love each other are going to sit down, hug and fuck or whatever, you know? Chill out, relax and talk. They're not going to be moving. People that are mad at each other, what are they going to do? They're going to fucking fight. They're going to run around. They're going to fucking be la 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 la. You know what I mean? Negative polarity or the fucking proton and the neutron in the middle. Which one do you want to fucking be? Because the proton and neutron are pretty close together. So that's why people that are only positive all the time kind of mimic being neutral. So they're closer together. And you got the negative guy on the outside, like feeling left out, and these two are together. You know what I mean? Go look it up if you don't believe me. But that's science. So what does that tell us about magic? Well, polarity, the 7 hermetic principles. I don't have to fucking really explain that to you. But if everything is moving and you look outside and you don't see anything moving, well, if everything is moving, why isn't my house moving? Why isn't my... The best way I can explain why is the difference between the atoms in your body and the atoms in that house is the atoms in the house don't need continuous sustainability, basically. So the atoms in our body reproduces cells every 30 some days in every part of your body. This makes you like Wolverine. Like I said in my last video, if this happened at the same day, same time, same second, same millisecond every month where all the fucking things died and then they somehow came back to life without, you know, while being dead, then you would disappear for that moment and then come right back to life. But it doesn't. It all happens simultaneously at a different time. So, why that's important? Just give me 1 second, okay, ladies? I'm almost done. Just gotta finish this thought. And the reason why that is important is due to the fact that your house, the bricks on my house, the wood right here, okay? That wood, to stay like that, doesn't have to input water, doesn't have to breathe. So that's the difference between the atoms. My atoms in my body need continuous things to keep replenishing, keep dying off and coming back to life. Whereas anything else, because like the nature also has those kind of atoms. It's just not the same level, same with the pets. But, and the elements, oh, that's a different story. But anything else that doesn't move, like my trampoline here, like this stuff right here, the metal's a little bit different as well, but anything like that, it's all the same, okay? They don't need continuous. Metal will, with water, and then air hits that water, it will rust over time and deteriorate. But point is, those things, they can be destroyed or they can stand for years depending on how you treat them. But they don't need you to keep feeding them, letting them breathe, giving it water, all right? You don't need that, whereas the atoms in our body. So that's the difference between them at the level of the atom, because I don't know what that would be called, but that'd be the different types of atoms. Our body has different types of atoms than those do. But nonetheless, this is vibrating. My fucking garage is vibrating right now. And it can't really disappear like we do because the atoms don't die off and be created anew, as far as I know anyways. So that's the difference between our atoms. But those that have atoms nonetheless, and they have a consciousness nonetheless. Those atoms, the consciousness of those atoms were created. It was wood at first. Then that wood became brown wood, and it became my garage. So now its job is to, the consciousness is you are a stationary garage. Therefore, all you gotta do is sit there and protect the stuff that's in you. Well, the minute someone comes over here and wants to fucking break my garage down and put it in the trash, well, it now becomes a garage that people don't want, and it now becomes a bunch of scrap wood and metal that's going to the dump to be recycled. Point is, if you want to consecrate something, you are talking to the fucking atoms of this. You're giving it a different consciousness. You're adding to it. I wouldn't remove from it, but you add to the consciousness. No, not only are you a bandana and everything that's associated with that bandana, but you are now a bandana that protects me from this. I will leave harm-free some more people. And that's as clear as I can make that. But once again, we're affecting something. But anyways, this is supposed to be about karma, not about that. I don't know why I got onto that, but the point of it is you can explain anything scientifically. Because if anybody thinks magic isn't real and you can't affect your reality, well, I would ask them, why not? If your body is always making new shit every 30 fucking days, because my nose is the same nose I had as a kid. I mean, it's got the same style and structure, and that's because, you know, it's slowly kept developing to a certain size. Everybody has a certain idea in their head. So I'd have to change everybody's idea of what my nose looks like to actually change my nose. If I was the only one that ever seen my nose, then I could make it whatever I want with it, my thoughts.
that's in theory, but not necessarily completely accurate. And that's why, like I said earlier, about my car in the last video, I had to change my car. I have to change, the person who made my car, I have to change his idea of my car to change at that level. That's not completely accurate, because I can use it in my mind, but if his mind's holding the view that it's Pathfinder and I can't change when they want it, that's my mind against his mind. Mine is most powerful will win. How, if everybody has an idea of what the world is, okay, how do you get the world to be what you want it to be? To affect everybody's mind. What is the media doing? They are telling you what the world is. And the more minds that believe in their story of the world, the more the world is like what they want it to be. And before COVID, we were all, not all, but a lot of people were believing the media was bullshit. A lot of people weren't watching the news anymore. They were losing fucking, the last award show, I think it was Ricky Gervais said, we should just call Netflix and say, hey, you fucking won, and stop having these fucking shows, because no one's watching fucking movies anymore. And guess what? No one's watching TV, movies, all these people, all these media stations, own all the fucking movie shit and all that. And what they do, they caused a pandemic and made you fucking watch TV every fucking day and make sure you knew how many people died and how dangerous this shit was. They use negative polarity because that's going to move people to get you to watch them again. And then they got everybody watching again. They got everybody using money, not their own cryptocurrency again, by giving out a bunch of free money. And in the process, they made the banks even richer, made all these motherfuckers richer because they get all the money in the process. That's what's happening. If you can't see that, I can't fucking help you. But anyways, my wife wants to leave and go somewhere, so I'll either be back on or this will be it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and when I'm back on, have a great fucking day.
One of my viewers / customers came in and clarified what she wanted me to show you guys how to do. So I hope there's more of you that want to know how to do this. Listening to the videos or watching the videos that we already watched. Banishing poverty has to be followed up with what, kids? Invoking. Invoke the thing that we want. Don't just banish the poverty. So first of all, there's a little spell I'm throwing together here. It'll work, and you can add to it and make it work even bigger, even better. And what I've done here is I've assembled me an image of poverty. I found that on the internet. I Googled poverty pick. Poverty pick. And I came up with an image of poverty. Now, for the big spell, I would want to assemble a bunch of images of poverty, but we're going to work with this one thing. We have this image of poverty. Since dragon's blood is so hard to come by, I got me a magic marker. Magic marker. I banish thee. Because it sounds old school. I banish thee. I'm right on there. And right here. On this, I'm going to draw a counterclockwise universal symbol of no. Circle slash. Circle slash can be used as our magical symbol because everybody knows it. It's no. No. No poverty. Then, I need to burn this. I need to change this from the form that it's in now into another form. What I'm going to do is burn it. Because in our religion, we love to burn things. And I'm going to add some special transformation incense that they make over at that Sacred Grove place. Yeah, make sure this flames up good. Banishing incense would work well too, but there we go. That's what I want to have happen. Now, I have already transformed my symbol of poverty into something else. By fire and air and these transformation things, I'm going to stir it counterclockwise with my special magic stirry stick one. Let the ashes get down there. Make sure it's all ash. All of it's got to be reduced to ash. I'll hit it with my blessed Bic a couple times if I have to. And now, you see it? Almost. Now I must pour it in to my transformation vessel. By looking at the transformation vessel, you should be able to figure out how to make your own transformation vessel at home. Now I'm going to transform this. See that one? I also Googled wealth pick, and came up with this fine image. This fine image for my purposes. I'm going to put this into my transformation vessel. I got my checkbook here. I'm going to write myself a check. Let's see, today is... And 1,000,000. Yep, I think that's 1,000,000. Say the order of me. The order of me. You know, of course, you know, if I was chanting in Greek right now, it'd probably help. Let's 1,000,000 dollars. And in the notes section, I'm going to put so mote it be. And I'm not going to show you the check, because then you'd have, you know, my name and my bank routing number and all that kind of crap. Unless you wanted to put money into the bank, you know, maybe $1 million or so. And I'm going to fold this sucker up and try and make a triangle out of it. Close enough. I could then douse this with money oil or something. There's lots of things I can do with this. I'm going to throw that in there. I've got some money. I'm going to throw some money in there. A lodestone. Okay, see it? I picked the furriest lodestone I had. Put lodestone in there. What is it? Sassafras. Put some sassafras in there. Pinch or 3. Sorry if I'm going fast for you, but you know I want to get it in my 10 minutes. Galangal root, however the hell you want to say that. 3 roots. 1, 2, 3. Benzoin. Alright, I want to get a chunk of benzoin in there because I know what I'm going to do with it later. You don't yet know what I'm going to do with it later, so you don't know why I need that. Little Irish moss, 3 pinches. Galangal, I already did all those. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes! That's them. In my vessel of transformation, which I will now stir clockwise. Chanting cool words. Maybe something like, elfenta. Duer, shindin duer. Kreguer, fucking wee. Oseriathex sepapler. Valor, Necrom Borea. Or words that work for you like that. Now, this part's a little trickier. Let's see if I can angle my webcam to see what the hell I'm doing. I got me some green cloth. I'm going to now put my symbols in. Put my diabolical brew in here. I fold up the paper. Best I can. That's my time, 7:51. All right, I'm doing good. Doing good. Green cloth. Purple string. 1, 2, motherfucker, and 3 knots on this sucker. Now I have my money, or my wealth transformation mojo. It's like a battery of Wuji stuff. All of these components react upon each other and react to their close proximity to each other in here, generating power. And the way that they're getting their sources of the power that they're generating is they're getting it off of me, because it's going to be in my pocket. Me, it's going to be in my left pocket, my receiving pocket. Take it with my receiving hand. I could douse this now in money oil, 3 drops of my own blood. That would have been really good to do there. I was sure that I probably wouldn't bleed fast enough in 10 minutes if I tried to do that here. Add something of yourself to the mix in here. You got your little battery. It's beyond just a money mojo. This is a transforming poverty mojo. This could even have an effect on that little Indian village that was in our picture. Who knows? Maybe we just banished poverty in their little town. Who knows, man? Butterfly flapped its wings.